Hello, everyone. Nicolette Halliday with Inspired Hearts Publishing. And today I'm hopping on because I want to talk to you about the power in building relationships in your business. And it's like the old saying goes, it's not what we know, it's who we know. And of course, what we know is extremely valuable. But it's really the who we know that's going to be able to put us in front of the right people at the right time who need our services the most to be able to grow our business, right? So I'm curious to know, um, let's see, I'm curious to know how important how important is building relationships in your business right now? And how much time are you putting into it? How much time and energy are you devoting to it every week? And there's different ways of building relationships, and we all know that. And I'm going to talk to you about a few examples of ways that I have developed really dynamic relationships that have changed the trajectory, not only of my business, but of my life here in a minute. But for now, if you are willing to play full out with me, I'm curious to know on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 is I never put any emphasis on building relationships. I'm not really putting any time or attention into that right now. And 10 is I put attention to this every single day. This is a lifeline in my business. I could not operate without building relationships. So I would love for you to add in the comments. If you're watching live, go ahead and add it there. I'm just going to pull up on my phone so I can see if any comments are coming in because I can't see through StreamYard. So let me get there. And if you're here, say hello. So I would love to hear on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is building relationships in your business right now? 1 being nothing. I don't have time. I'm not putting any emphasis on this. And 10 being absolutely every day I'm setting an intention to build relationships. And let's see. So there's no right or wrong answer here. And it's just an honest review of where you're at right now and how much focus you're putting in this area of your business. And I want to talk to you about the real implications that it can have and how it has had a direct relationship to the growth in my business that I've seen. So if you've done that and set, 1 to 10, how much emphasis are you putting on building relationships in your business? I would love for you to add a comment, and we can kind of go from there because one of my superpowers is feeling the energy and taking a pulse of the room, of the collective. And when you can show up and play all in with me, it's going to help me be able to help you more. So I would love for you to play. So now I want you to think about your business and your professional pursuits and think about how have a personal connection led to you getting a client, additional revenue, an opportunity, how a referral. So really think back to your business and even just your professional pursuits and how has your personal relationships that you've had and you've developed really impacted how things have shown up for you in work and business. And it's funny because sometimes we aren't really taking full consideration of this, right? Sometimes we minimize the impact that it can have. And so I want you to think carefully about it. And I'm going to give you a few examples of how different relationships have really played out in my life and the difference it's made. So several years ago, it was kind of right at the beginning of Facebook communities. Facebook communities were just getting started. Of course, now they're everywhere. Everyone seems to have a Facebook group of some kind, and we all belong to multiple Facebook groups, but at that time, it was just getting started. And I had an invitation to join a program that also included a private Facebook group. So it was a new thing. It was novice to me at the time. And so let's see, I have some notes here, so I don't want to forget. So the community was Sarah Prout's Manifesting Academy, and I know there's going to be some here that I'm sure that I connected with in that time frame. So I joined the community, and it was the first time that I had this opportunity to really connect with like-minded and hearted people. It was such a it just felt, it made me feel so alive to be able to connect with people all over the world and around, people who are really setting intentions to create powerful opportunities and change in their life. So I joined the Manifesting Academy. And if you were a previous member, I'd love for you to say hello, because I know, we have some soul connections there. But the thing about it is because it was so new and I was so excited to be there and I felt such a connection, such a camaraderie with the other members, I was willing to play full out. And so I did. I asked questions. I showed up and, really was true with my experience that I was going through. It was the first place that I really learned how to write to connect to other people, because it was just this supportive community and people were really excited to hear what I had to say. And so it was this right to connect. It created these really deep relationships. And I had also just, it wasn't for business. It was really a personal pursuit, but I was making connections with the other members as well as with the facilitators, Sarah Prout and Sean Patrick Simpson. And so I made these connections with the people in that Facebook group. And I promise I'm getting to the point. So hold on here with me. And so let's see. I made connections with all of these people, and I was showing up as a leader, which really helped me stand out. And so I think this is a great place to put, how are you showing up in the relationships that you have right now? In the masterminds, in the small group trainings, in the, in your client work, just in your relationships, how are you showing up? Because we all have an opportunity to show up as a leader. So I just want to remind you of that right now, because there is such power in being able to do that. So anyways, fast forward to a few years later, I had moved away from the Manifesting Academy. I had gotten all this great resources and had manifested so many great things, but had kind of moved along. And at that point, I decided to start my virtual assistant business. So I left my 9 to 5. I went all in on my virtual assistant business. I was doing all the things, doing outreach, trying to acquire my first couple clients. And, I was going through the motions and I wasn't having a lot of luck at first. So I had a dream. I had a couple dreams actually, that I worked for Soul Space, which was Sarah Prout and Sean Patrick Simpson's umbrella company for the Manifesting Academy. And so I just followed my nudge and I reached out to Sarah and said, I had this dream, I know you'll appreciate me following this nudge, but I also understand that dreams have a lot of different meanings. So I reached out to her, and within a week, I had received a very lucrative offer and contract to come on and work with them as their community manager. And so that was one of my first clients. A few other clients piled in right after that, really taking my virtual assistant business, making it profitable right away. And so, let's see, looking at my notes here. And so while I was working at Soul Space, I was introduced to an amazing, dynamic woman who I'm sure a lot of you are going to know, Adriana Monique Alvarez. And so we became acquainted through that community and through my contract with Soul Space. So a couple years later, Adriana had invited me to join an online networking group. and she was putting together. So during one of our calls, it was just a small group. There was maybe 3 or 4 other women there, but I decided I was just going to show up with full presence and get the most out of it. So again, how are you showing up to networking events? It doesn't matter if there's one other person in the room or 10. How we're showing up with real reverence and just being really true to the moment is so valuable and so important. So I want to keep emphasizing that. So I was on this call and I was doing my introduction and my 60-second commercial, and it was something like, my name is Nicola Halliday and I am a virtual assistant. I support, I serve as a right hand to female entrepreneurs pushing past their capacity and wanting support managing and growing their business. Something like that. I can't remember the whole spiel, but and Adriana responded and she said, I'm right at the moment putting, at the beginning of teaching women how to run successful publishing houses, and I think some of them might need your support. So she made some introductions. And inevitably, I got some clients coming in through that, and my whole business model transitioned to supporting behind the scenes female-owned publishing houses and helping them produce, manage, all the things inside their publishing business. So I had like niched down and was exclusively supporting other publishers. So let's see. Inevitably, for those of you who don't know, I started Inspired Hearts Publishing, and the rest is history. But what if I hadn't shown up fully with the open heart and realization that relationships build out different parts of our life within the Manifesting Academy? What if I didn't continue to nurture those relationships? A side note here, several of the people that I had met inside that community ended up coming back and writing chapters in my multi-author books. So that was kind of a full circle moment as well. What if I hadn't paid for and taken advantage of the opportunities to join different networking groups? I never would have had this opportunity presented to me, which I was able to really run with. So I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, right? I don't know where I would be. It's hard to say if I wasn't following those nudges to connect and build relationships, and then deeper dive and build relationships in business. It's hard to know where I would be right now. But needless to say, let's see, just going back to my notes for a minute. So hold on. Let's see. So right now I'm at the beginning of building a dynamic network, referral group, social community of purpose-driven experts in different areas of publishing. And my current project, and this project has a huge focus on building out powerful publishing network and referral partnerships. So if you work inside publishing and you want to get in front of authors or people who want your services right now, you want to join a dynamic community of purpose-driven and talented entrepreneurs working in various areas of publishing, and you never want to feel like you don't have a quality person who you can refer to, who you can partner with, who you can ask questions to, if you see the value in being part of this kind of network, then I would love for you to say hello, reach out to me in private message, send me an email, and let's talk about what it takes to get you involved. And so that is all I have for today. I was hoping to keep it super short, and I did manage to keep it under 15 minutes, so that was pretty good. But please say hello and let me know, how has building relationships inside your business how has that directly led to different opportunities for you? I would love to hear about it. When we can show up and share, it's really an opportunity for other people to really see themselves and understand the power of these kinds of opportunities. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining. If you make sure to say hello if you're watching the replay, and I will talk to you soon.